Yeah.
Okay, man, we're here today with Yousef Anthony from Hive Mind. What's up, guys? We met at lunch just now. We were just having some amazing conversations about different things, and you had mentioned that you wanted to kind of get your message out. So we figured, hey, well, we got a platform,
Okay.
and we had some amazing conversations. So we thought we'd just invite you back and hear expand more on what you had to say.
Look, I have great respect just meeting you guys for the type of things that you're introducing into the space. Mm-hmm. The name is a mind blower, Hive Mind, because it represents a pure form of community life. Mm-hmm. That's what it appealed. I said Hive Mind. I kept looking at the term, but I couldn't. I said Hive Mind. Hive Mind. I said hive. That's community. Mm-hmm. Mind is what you use to develop things. Mm-hmm. I said, you know what? These guys are on to something.
I think so too, man. We appreciate you sitting down with us and just hanging out and exchanging. But yeah, that was kind of the premise for what we founded is we want everybody in the community to be able to participate in the upside, right? But mm-hmm. we're all putting in the work on our own for a common greater good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was kind of the name behind it. Yeah.
Beautiful name, man. Love that name.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Love that name.
So yeah, we had talked, we're sitting at lunch and we were just talking about some different, I guess like maybe philosophies that you had on life. So we wanted to see if we can kind of go into some of that.
Sure.
We thought that was amazing. And then, meeting a perfect stranger to have such a great outlook on life. And I think it very similar matches what we had in store for our community. Well, so it was pretty cool that when we met you,
we got to give a plug to Dr. Goldhammer.
Yeah.
And True North Health Center that brought us all together.
Such an amazing place to be, man. Yeah, the people here are so amazing. The people that are here, like us, have been super nice, super amazing. Everybody's going through a journey. Yeah.
Praise be to God, man. Great spirit, great energy.
Yeah, if you guys are in any kind of health problems, or if you yourself has a health problem, you should definitely check out Dr. Goldhammer's True North Center in Santa Rosa. It's been amazing, one of the best weeks of my life. Yeah, and you've been here for a little bit longer than me. How long you been?
Well, what I praise be to God, I completed a 30-day fast.
Water fast.
Water fast. Supervised water. Look, man, supervised water fast. What brought me here was prostate cancer. Mm-hmm.
You got a diagnosis and then you immediately booked it, or did you research for a while, or?
I researched for a while. First of all, I had to get over the shock. Mm-hmm. Because I always thought that I was living clean. Mm-hmm. Clean enough. However, I did see my PSA spike, and I didn't ignore it, kept my eye on it, but thought I could handle it my way, but really did not have enough experience. Before I got here, I did a 13-day water fast, juice fast. Then I got in trouble. I felt like I was getting in trouble. What I think what saved me was Ramadan came, mm-hmm. where you fast in a different way, but I knew I couldn't fast all day on water, only take water, and then water, I couldn't do that. So I made up my mind that after Ramadan, I was going to book 45 days at True North Health Center to have my situation supervised, mm-hmm. and then see what the results were going to be. Because I didn't like the first results after the initial fast. What I found out here is that you should not get a PSA right after you fast, because the PSA, the fasting will spike.
It's going to shock it initially, yeah.
Right, and spike up the numbers on the PSA, yeah.
Man, very wise of you to just stop everything that you're doing and come over here and say, hey, we got this problem. Let me make this the forefront of what I'm going to do.
Right.
Let's take care of this first before everything else.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, they know they're in trouble and they don't even care. Like they keep pushing it down and kicking it down the road.
I learned over time, the subconscious, this is what happens when you deny. The subconscious operates in a way that whatever you deny, wherever you avoid, whatever you choose to delay that you know is important, the subconscious makes it bigger. It magnifies its intensity. It magnifies the messages. It magnifies the energy. It magnifies, makes bigger exaggerates the problem. You can look it up online. So what happens is, by not addressing this situation that's a problem, now whatever was going on before, you just added more toxic energy to the space. Now, we talked about Emoto. The idea is, you remember the experiment was done by Emoto?
Yep. The waters are turning into crystals, beautiful crystals.
And the other ones turn into shiznit.
It looks ugly. Yeah.
Right, looking ugly. Sound travels through water 4.2 times faster than it travels through air. We're 70% water. Those thoughts are running through us all day. And all thoughts have chemical components, cause a chemical reaction. Speech causes chemical reaction. What you hear may cause a chemical reaction. So now you have additional toxic energy, thoughts, traveling through your mind. Well, you might say, well, how fast? The subconscious communicates at, I think Lipton says, about 40 million or 40 billion bits per second.
Damn.
At 100,000 miles per hour. Consciously, you communicate about 2,500 bits per second at 150 miles an hour. So let me ask you something. Can you see anything coming at you at 100,000 miles an hour?
It's already, by the time you even realize it's there, it's gone.
That's the thought process. That's the subconscious. So what you're actually doing is, you don't know how much you are multiplying, amplifying the negative energy by turning away from it instead of turning towards it. The brave person dies once, the coward dies 1,000 times. I didn't want that for my life. Because I believe over time, all I wanted was living an ability to live powerful in my personal space. And I think everyone should have that opportunity. So that's one reason that I came to True North Health Center.
That's powerful, man.
Praise be to God, man.
Yeah.
We're just conduits, and I'm just communicating with you how my thinking process operates, because science will save lives. The more science you know, the more ammunition you got. The more ammunition you got, the more solutions, tools, or information you got. The more that you have, the more certainty you have. The less doubt you have, the less uncertainty you have. The less uncertainty, the less anxiety. The less anxiety, the more peace.
More health in general, right? I love it, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
so
so
man, I'm
beautiful.
delighted, man, that you guys, man, do what you do. Hive mind. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of gives everybody a platform. We find people like yourself that we want to talk to. And it's a real estate podcast, but it's also like, we like talking about health, mental health, that kind of thing entrepreneurs have to face. So yeah, I just knew this would be a good conversation for us to have, based on all the wisdom that you were sharing with us. I'm like, man,
praise be to God.
we should capture this somewhere and share it with our friends.
I'm delighted, man. At least that you guys ain't jacking me. I thought you guys was jacking me, you know what I mean? So man, three guys, man, bigger than, you guys like, lifting transmissions and all that kind of stuff. I said, man, I hope these guys don't bring it in here and think it hurt me, man. I got a couple moves up here left, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Oh, super cool, man, to meet people like yourself and share these experiences, man. But to have these platforms, so thank you, Dr. Goldhammer. Thank you to you for sharing with us.
Well, thank you guys, because you guys could have ignored me and kept on moving.
No, we always look for beautiful conversations, man, with strangers. You just never know who you're going to meet, man. So,
praise be to God.
Yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to meet you and chat with you. And hopefully this is the start of your podcasting journey.
Yeah, sooner or later, I'll have a podcast up. You guys came up with such a great title, man. I'm saying, like, look, I might need to come up with something better than what I got, man. Hive Mind, man, that's beautiful name, man.
Thank you very much, man. No, I think we can help you get started. Daniel can show you all the basic softwares that you need. All you need is like pretty much a ring light, so you just need good lighting.
Right.
A little cheap tripod.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
DJI got it hooked up, Jack.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you just get maybe, whoever's on the other end of that recording session, you just interview with them, and that's it. It's very simple, man. A very simple game. You can do it from your home.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll help you get fired up, get your message out.
Praise be to God. I really appreciate you guys.
Amen, dude. Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe. If you like this content like this, let us know what you'd like to see more of.
So we're here with part 2 with Yousef.
Oh, you still recording?
We're recording right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you big guy. Let me give you a little space, man. We'll see. All right. We good.
So let's talk about bees. I have a couple questions for you.
Certainly.
I'm the podcaster side. He's the health side.
Oh, okay. What you did? I like what you did, though. Yeah. That's cool.
So I want you said something about bees earlier that I really want to highlight. And I think it was such profound about human nature. So I don't know if you want to talk about that. You can look into the
absolutely. When I saw hive mind, I say hive bees. It made me think of some information that I got from one of a religious leader.
Okay.
Who explained that the term shorter, or the term, shorter means consensus. We use it as consensus. And the Masdar, as he described, means that this word appeared someplace first, and then was used in Arabic language to describe a process.
Okay.
So that process that he described was the activity of the bees.
Okay.
So the consensus or census represented through the word shorter first appeared in the nature regarding bees and the activity of bees. And the idea was this. Bees go out and pollinate.
Yep.
They collect, bring back to the hive. And when all of the bees are finished bringing their pollen or whatever back to the hive, they process it and produce honey.
Yep.
So all the bees have input to the final product, the honey. So he was saying that if all of the people have an opportunity to collectively contribute to the common space, like the bees, then that too can produce something sweet, like honey.
It's a collaborative effort. There was a quote I heard here is that bees have the ability to communicate and collaborate with millions.
Nice. I saw a TikTok video or YouTube video the other day. They talk about a hawk coming into the forest space. He comes in so low, so quick, diving in between branches. There's one bird that's always on the lookout, one particular bird. He sounds the alarm. The squirrel recognizes it. The other birds recognize it. And before the hawk can get past a certain spot, all of the animals now know from communicating from this one bird that this hawk, who's coming in at like, 150, 200 miles an hour, is coming in to get something and take it back home. And they scatter before the hawk gets there. So there are things that are communicating, ways that are communicating that are fascinating, but they form community. Even though it's a squirrel, another bird, a raccoon or something else, they're all communicating from these sounds that they've recognized because they've done this so many times. So yeah, there's nothing like community space.
So I like this community space topic because you're talking about how in the olden times we were more dependent on others or in our surroundings. So you said there was like a healing space.
It was a healing space, and that, my friend, is something that we need more of.
Healing space.
We need more healing spaces because everyone's individual destiny needs to be respected. It's best respected and it's best represented in community life. So 2 or more people form community. And if everyone's voice is heard, then there's no voice that's unheard that's crying out for help that is not responded to.
I have the philosophy that and this is part of why we probably start the conversation, is that everybody has the ability to teach me something.
Yes.
And it's up to you as a human being to be perceptive of that education to listen to whatever you can learn from the individual, because everybody has a voice and an ability to educate.
Yes, absolutely. We all have yes, because all of us have a lens tilted in a certain way.
Yeah,
perspective. So it gives us a different perspective. So all the perspectives need to be respected so that we can come to the common answer that may address everybody's needs. Yes, I agree with that.
So it's a communal perspective that brings new information, because I don't have, you said nobody has all the pieces.
No.
Nobody has all the pieces, but when people piece themselves together, it creates unity and community, which creates honey.
Creates honey. It creates the honey. That's the whole idea of sugar. If everyone's individual destiny is respected, you got honey.
You got honey.
You got something sweet, man. And if we can shut out the noise and accept each other as one human life, one human, and that everyone is in a sacred space. My space is no more sacred than yours. Mm-hmm. Yours is no more sacred than the other person, because we each have a touch of the Spirit, as I understand it, from all the religions, path from the breath of God. So everyone's space is sacred and needs to be respected. I think that's community. That's the right community life to have.
In your opinion, how do you build community?
Change the language. Change the language.
Okay, so you had a great quote from Mike Tyson. No, it was
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Okay, so let's go with this.
Bruce Lee said, "Do not speak negatively about yourself, not even as a joke, because words have energy and cast spells." No. Let me back up. Do not speak negatively about yourself, not even as a joke, because the body doesn't know the difference. Yeah. Words have energy. That's why they call and they cast spells. That's why they call it spelling. Change the way you speak about your life, and you can change the way you speak about yourself, and you can change your life. What you don't change, you choose. Now, I done messed that all up.
Go Google it.
Go Google it, folks, because it's in there. You know, the thing that got me was, don't speak negatively because your body doesn't know the difference. People believe that words are only affecting their minds and not understanding whether you believe mind, body or not. Everything you think, the energy is going through your body. Yeah. So if your body is water and you hear it, you know it's going 4.3 times faster than it does through air. But at the same time, the subconscious is communicating at 100,000 miles an hour, just beating, helping to pulsate whatever it is that you're thinking about. Yeah. So you are what you're thinking about. And so you got negative stuff going around, then you can't do anything but feel negative. But it's not just here, it's your whole body. Your body's not going to respond in a certain way. It's not going to heal in a certain way. It's not going to respond to the environment in a certain way. All because you got this negative stuff that you have trouble getting rid of. So
there's me and Anthony have this quote that we do in our environments that I think you are excellent. You embody this quote. And that is, me and Anthony like manufacturing happiness in our surroundings. So we have an individual have the ability to, we don't know what other people's environments are currently or what their day is or what their life is currently, but we have the ability to create a ripple in their life to create happiness and manufacture happiness, us as an individual, through our environment and through our surroundings. The Buddha said, one of the Buddhas said this, there is no path to happiness because happiness is the path. I cannot remember the last time I got up sad. Yeah. I can't remember. Yeah. One of the prophets said this, prayer lightens the heart and charity is a proof of faith, and abstinence from sin is perfect splendor. The scriptures are for you if you do good. It's against you if you do wrong. And every man starts out his morning either heading towards his redemption or his ruin.
So, like I said, I cannot remember the last time I got up sad.
Yeah, I can remember the last day I got sad, but it's very rare for me. It's very rare,
Yeah.
and I'm very optimistic.
Yes.
I have an optimistic personality, and my wife is pessimistic, so she balances me out. But I think you need a balance of the things, because optimistic people are always in the clouds and think the best of people and think the best of their surroundings. But you need sometimes to be brought to reality in your own little way, because not everybody understands even the optimistic and pessimistic side. They're
The beauty of a woman's brain is that men are right brain, women are left brain, but science says women have access to both sides better than men. We see things far off because we got to bring back the caribou, you know, hit them with the arrow, track them down with the spear, or hit them with the 9, whatever you want to do to get them back. But the woman, the prophet, peace be upon him, one of the prophets said this. He said, of all the treasures that a man can have anywhere, there's nothing more valuable than a righteous woman. That's one thing. Somebody else said, oh prophet, who should I honor? He said, your mother. He said, who should I honor after that? He said, your mother. Well, who should I honor after that? He said, your mother, then your father. So that kind of thing makes me back up a little bit when you talk about women. I think they got a little more sacred thing going on than we do.
Yeah.
I think they got a little more protection because we come through them to get here. And then on top of that, the first 4 to 6 weeks of gestation, we are all female. That, you know, I tell guys that in the joint, what? Female. You're all female. That's why you got breasts, brother. They look at, they give you that look, because I have worked in the prison before too. So I got big respect for not fully understanding women.
You're not going to find the answers on women on Google.
No, man, you can't Google that one, man. Somebody wrote a book, right? How to Understand Women. The bottom of the book here, the top of the page was here. And he's on the top of the page trying to get through the, nah, you ain't gonna do
I've
that.
seen a similar book, and it says How to Understand Women. It's just blank pages.
Yeah, okay. The same thing, man. You gotta appreciate them. Yeah.
How do you find balance in life currently?
Ooh. I do my best to be authentic. I hate the word, but that's the only way I can come up with it.
Yeah.
And to be authentic means that you have to be transparent. And to be transparent means you have to live without shame. So I do my best to live without shame. I've forgiven myself for a lot that I have done. We all have done something.
Yeah, absolutely.
From every day forward, I ask myself, what is it that I have to monitor, improve, inventory, get rid of, or include? So I spend my morning, first pray, always prayer, because we pray 5 times a day, and then whatever I'm praying about, I'm going to live it the rest of the day so that I can get the reward on the other side. I don't know how it's going to come, but what I'm sure and certain about, because of my age, it always comes. The mercy always comes. But it doesn't come without working. I talk to my nervous system about everything first. And I learned this over time. You talk to your nervous system, you tell yourself what you're going to do. If it's a change of any type, you know you're going to get a protest from your subconscious.
Yeah.
You already know that.
Yeah.
So my position with my subconscious is that you're going to have to shut up while I get this thing done. Let's go. So sometimes, kicking and screaming, I take myself where I'm going because I'm looking at the vision that I have for myself. What I suggest, even to your viewers, whatever vision you have, allow the vision to pull you towards what it is that you think you see. So I wake up every morning with that. I got an idea of the type of man that I want to be, the type of things that I want to do, the type of things that will bring me greater joys, things that bring me greater certainty, the type of language that I want to be known for, and the type of contributions. I'm looking at all of these things that are pulling me. So you don't know where the mercy is going to come from. You don't know where the help is going to come from. So you have to believe in the vision, knowing that you don't know how it's going to come, but you know if you keep working, you have a high probability that it will materialize at some particular time.
It's like a manifestation. How do you manifest your destiny? Is you work towards that path, and manifestation and destiny intersect, and you're there.
Yeah. I never knew I was going to meet you guys today.
Yeah.
I never knew I was going to be on a podcast today. So I'm thinking, I say, like these guys, man, look like they bench pressing Buicks and curling transmissions, man, get me up in here, man. Like, what's up? What deal? But anyway, the conversation, your smiles, your energy radiates.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? You'll be all right. I think I can, you'll be all right.
You've been around long enough, you can handle yourself.
Oh, well, I'd be all right. Because, as weak as I am, I'd dive through a window if I got to, whatever the case is.
Is there something you want to do that you haven't done?
Oh, a lot, man. Oh, what? Eventually, I want to develop my own podcast, but a community space, a community wellness space online with some of these things that I've learned in mental health, behavioral health, and drug and alcohol. And my interest is human restoration. That's my interest. And human restoration covers so many categories because I believe that we are a constellation of systems working as one. And what I would hope to do is create, manifest tools, information, and solutions for a myriad of certain types of problems that people had difficulty solving. Because I'm a scientist, I'm a nerdy guy. I'm a scientist. I love science. You hear that? I love science. I love it. Because science tells you the how, the when, and allows you, like an engineer, to take things apart, even thought.
Yeah.
And if you can take it apart and look at it and understand the pieces, then you can put it back together the way you need to make it work for you. So that's one thing that I hope to do. The other thing is get a large enough space to grow my own food. Because I see where things are headed. I don't like it. So nobody's ever more involved in your life than you.
Yep.
So I can't wait for somebody else to make it
So
the way that I want.
yeah.
So yeah, there are things I want to do.
You have to take action first. You have to take action.
Faith requires action. No action, no faith. I'm keeping it simple, man. No action, no faith. You just meat flapping. That's it.
I thought of a good question for you. You were talking about alcohol earlier, how it's a poison to the body. Let's talk about alcohol and alcohol addiction, because I think a lot of people struggle with that. And me personally, I try and avoid drug and alcohol use in any case. But let's talk about alcohol and the effects and how to, in your opinion, deal with it.
I'm embarrassed to talk about how it's been dealt with because I'm also a therapist. After you have been to so many places, the people I've been with have been to 5 to 12 different facilities before they've gotten to me. They might have been in treatment for 10 to 50 years. You still have to look at the language. You have to look at language. There's a certain type of language in the culture that you have to have a new understanding about, because alcohol, or intoxication, the freedom towards intoxication the merriment, the inclusion is all weaved into the fabric of America.
Yeah.
So intoxication is one of the values. You go to a party, the first thing somebody's going to ask is like, well, what you doing drink? You go to a sporting event, they selling liquors. So you go to the doctor, he wants to give you a pharmaceutical, but don't tell you about the 25. He give you the 15 side effects, but don't tell you about the other 25.
Yeah.
So this thing about drugs, drug use to solve problems, it's not cool, not good. So depends on how long the person has been in as a substance abuser.
Yeah.
First thing I ask about changing the language. If they call themselves an addict, say stop that. Why? For the previous things that I talked about earlier, words have power,
Yep.
energy, cause chemicals. Doesn't matter what the word is. If you use it, there's a chemical response, there's a chemical activity that's taking place in the body. Mm-hmm. So I start with language first. We got to change the language that you're using to describe yourself, the language that you're using to describe life. Got to change the language first. So I normally work from a dry erase board, and I start helping the person map out the history and relationship to the language that they're using, the experiences that they have, and then we take it apart piece by piece until they feel comfortable about approaching or becoming willing to just look at the space to start doing something. Because if you're not willing, then you never start. The other thing, I'm taking the shame off of them immediately.
How do you do that?
It ain't all your fault. How can you be in an environment that is saturated with toxicity, that's pushing alcohol, drugs at you, and then not also blame the culture?
Yeah.
Can't do that. These guys take on the idea, and when you call someone an addict, you're saying there's something wrong with this human life. There's nothing wrong with human life. There's only something that human life has got involved in, but the human life is still there. That's ignored. Gabor Mate, very respected individual in the treatment space, he said, addiction is just a response to suffering. There's not enough of us in the treatment space that deals with the suffering to help the people understand how not to suffer as much. There's always something that you can do. The other thing too is they've learned how to get past your conscious mind, subliminal. They've gotten past your subconscious mind, subliminal. And now they're shooting past them two to get to your neurotransmitters, dopamine. Mm-hmm. So I show them through science how the process is actually working. It ain't working like you hear it in the culture. It's working through a series of strategic scientific principles that you have to understand that they use that you don't know they're using.
You don't even perceive it as manipulation.
Nope.
If you can't recognize it.
That's right. The first thing they do is take your awareness. The second thing they do is make you feel safe. If a person feels safe, how does he feel safe? With a hive.
They use community.
They use community. They hit enough people drinking, enough people smoking, enough people using, 2 or more people create community. And before you know it, someone is going to offer somebody else that as a solution. And the person says, well, these guys seem like they're all right sometimes. Because if you are not right anytime, sometime it's okay. It's not, So in my office, I create an environment. My own environment. When you close the door, nothing from the world is in there. Nothing. I got about 30 different quotes all over my wall speaking to you and letting you know the answer is not out here. You are the answer that you've been looking for. Everybody's surprised to hear that. And then I go to explain how. You always have value, and you always will.
Yep.
And I go and explain that.
Everyone has value.
Everyone has value.
Everyone has value. That's
So
a very important part.
it's fundamental that I start there. And because I use a dry erase board, and they can see it and take pictures, and they participate, they know it ain't all me.
I think a lot of people, they have this internal speak where they devalue themselves, where they think that there's no solutions, and I think it was part of depression, and it affects your human core, and it comes outwardly because it's an internalized, but it outwardly comes out.
You hit it right on the head, man. It's called learned helplessness. When you look up the term helplessness, you'll see a few different things. When you look at helplessness regarding people, they normally say learned helplessness. So you have to learn it. So what do you mean you got to learn it? Look at a baby. The baby will get to a point, seeing you walk, he'll try 20 times. Sit down, boom. Get up, sit down, boom. Baby don't quit until the baby starts walking.
Yep.
So it's not natural for a human to learn to be helpless because we have the drive. We are born with an internal drive to do better, to be better, and to cultivate. Proof of that is our dads gave up 40 million sperms at one shot. Bam! One got there. Yeah. Which one? The strongest.
Yeah.
The one that struggled against all the rest. So life is struggle. Life is combat. So the idea is, well, how do you put yourself in your personal sacred space so that you're powerful at all times?
Because if you originated from power.
Yes. And if you understand that you can recover and restore, see, that recovery thing I don't like either. Recovery to what? What you going to recover? If you start getting high at 8, you want to go back to 7? Because from 8 to 60 you were using. So what do you want to recover? You want to recover your babyhood? Well, let me tell you something about that. Intoxication ideation, 2 and 3 years old. The child is in your lap. You got Miller's. He's only 3 years old, 2 or 3. And you go up. What does the child do? The child reaches.
Yeah.
Why? The child wants to do what the parent is doing.
Yeah.
And we say, well, they don't know what we're doing. I heard of a grandmother getting on her son, because the grandson said, oh yeah, Mama, Daddy smokes cigarettes. Let me show you how you do it.
They know how.
Rolling a joint. He wasn't smoking cigarettes, he was smoking herb.
Yeah.
And then when her son got there, she had to tell him, look, you better watch what you're doing in front of him.
You're creating that environment in his mind, and he thinks it's normal.
Already at 3.
Yeah.
Because children want to be just as happy as you. So they see that after you drinking whatever's in the can, they don't know what's in the can, they don't know what's in the bottle, but whatever's in there, boys, making my parents happy. Hey, let your hands whatever, right? The ideation starts there.
I had this is so funny because we drink soda occasionally and Kool-Aid and stuff like that where we kind of indulge, but the kids are like, oh, I want some of that. Like, I want some of that.
Yes.
And we're like, water only.
Yes. That's difficult. Yeah. But the first chance they get, trust me.
And then you hear about kids like sneaking the soda or even the alcohol.
Or the alcohol too, right?
Or the alcohol too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So we have to be more aware and more mindful. And if we all do it, the things that I'm talking about can get us hurt. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're talking about coin, man. Serious paper. Serious paper. Unbelievable. They spend millions to put you to sleep. And now one podcast or two, you're going to wake them up?
It's this one.
Some guys will be jumping out of helicopters, man. You know what I mean? Shoot. Guys coming upside down the wall and all that kind of stuff. You see all that stuff on TV, man, whatever. I ain't ready to die yet, man, so I ain't saying nothing now.
corporate greed. So we talked about in your therapy sessions, you create self-awareness. And then you provide self space and other.
Healing
What
space.
tools are you giving them to take action?
Depends on where they are.
Okay.
Everyone is different, and everyone has a different kind of need. Some people need housing. I don't interfere with that. Some people need trauma stuff. Talk to them about that. People that have different needs that get them to I'm willing. But what you want to do is give them enough science. You get homework from me.
Yeah.
You get printouts, you get this and that, but you also have your board, you take a picture of it, and you got to look at it and discuss it with yourself. You need to have conversations with yourself in the quiet.
Meditation.
You can call it meditation, but it needs to be in the quiet. They call it mindfulness, they call it metacognition, but you need to think about your thinking. Thinking about your thinking so that you can begin to control what you think so that you can control what you do. Because if you can't control what you think, you can't control what you do.
Ooh.
So you have to be in a position to tell yourself how to think. Some guy told me, man, that's impossible. For you, yeah. For me, no. I make it a practice. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to the radio. So I don't have random thoughts. I tell myself what to think. Yeah.
You're inspired by your inspiration.
Praise be to God. I tell myself what to think. So if my piece is upset, it's because I allowed something through the gate. Lao Tzu said this. Lao Tzu said, watch your thoughts because your thoughts become words. Watch your words because your words become actions. Watch your actions because your actions become habits. Watch your habits because your habits become character. And watch your character because it determines your destiny. That's a common one. Lao Tzu, I think that's the guy's name. Yeah. Because you have to be the gatekeeper to your thoughts. I don't allow myself random thinking. But that's a practice.
Yeah.
And it's for me now, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So these things that I'm sharing, I developed it over years.
Wisdom.
Yes. Eventually, this is the formula. I'll give it away. You have a problem, you research the problem. By researching the problem, you come up with a solution. The solution, then you got to determine, quiet your subconscious mind so that you can begin to practice that. With your subconscious kicking and screaming every day about we ain't doing that shit yet. Okay? Once you practice it enough, you practice it until you're comfortable making it a habit. Once you make it a habit, now you know that the solution that you came up with the information that was based on the solution, works. So you know it works because you're practicing it and you're starting to get results. So now you make it a habit, but you don't stop there. Can I improve it even though it's a habit? Yes. Continue to study it until you master it. Right? Once you master it, add more time. Once you add more time to master it, you make it a lifestyle. Once it becomes a lifestyle, you don't have to think about what it is so much because you're telling yourself, you're controlling your thoughts. Lifestyle plus time, wisdom. So now you can apply it to anything.
Anything.
Because all learning is done by repetition.
Absolutely.
Trauma or repetition, either or. Now, in my past experiences, it was trauma. I was too light to fight and too thin to win. And I was like, most of the time, looking, see if Peanut or somebody was coming out to take my money. Man. So you learn that stuff over time. I don't regret none of it because it built who I am today. And I finally met someone that I like. And that's the other thing. If you do the work, you're going to meet somebody that you like. Now, some people are fortunate to always have done the work.
Yeah.
And respect how they've been evolving the whole time. That was not my case. I had to resolve some traumas and some other things. And then I finally met someone that I liked. So for first 35, I didn't like myself. You know? A lot of stuff. You know, painful stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't experience none of it today. So praise be to God for that. So did I explain it well?
Yeah. It's self-inspiration, and you have to come up with your own decision to correct and create your own future ahead of you.
I did get on my knees, trust me, and told God, I don't know what I'm doing, don't know what I'm doing. The first thing I heard was, yeah, I know. You know, so yeah, I didn't know. And so I had to submit. I had to stop driving the bus. Yeah. Stop running over everything in sight, banging it up. And I didn't have much more bang left. The fenders was hanging off. The motor mounts was broken. I was a broken person at the time, on welfare, depressed, anxiety, panic attacks, hallucinations, the whole bit. Didn't want to go to the state hospital, man, because I knew what they were going to do. I didn't trust the doctors like that. I was smart, man. Shoot, I wasn't going to give them guys the opportunity, man, to shoot me up, and I wind up with the Thorazine shuffle and all that. You know, dribbling, whatever. I wasn't interested in nothing like that. So I turned back to my creator, the higher power, and I turned back to myself also to say, look, nobody's going to do this stuff outside of you, man. You have to do it. You are going to have to do this.
You have to do and change yourself to create a better future. Yeah. There's no one to blame for your current situation but you and yourself.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So you have to learn how to trust again. And you have to learn how to forgive again.
Forgiveness is important.
You have to forgive yourself for where you've been if you don't like it.
I think the introspection is that your life experiences and your choices that led you to today.
Yes. The pain.
Good or bad.
All of it.
Good or bad.
All of it. And I have no regrets. Because any decision you make has the potential for regret anyway.
Yeah.
So if you regret it, you still made the best decision at that particular time with the information that you had, even if you didn't get the results. You know that you tried your best.
That's it.
I don't believe in fake it to make it. I don't believe that. Because fake it to make it means this to me. You still a fake. I didn't want that.
One of the doctors here, he says, don't fake it till you make it. Do it till you're through it.
I like that.
Do it till
True North Health Center, y'all. If you got some ailments, come on down because it's a beautiful healing space. That's just what it is. That's what brought us together.
Healing space.
Yeah.
I was very unsure of healing space. I feel like I'm young and bulletproof, you know?
How old are you anyway?
32.
Oh, okay. Well, you still look good, though. Yeah.
I'm young and bulletproof, but I've had self-reflection that I know I can do and change things, make things that are better, and I'm young enough to change that trajectory. And the self-reflection that kind of led me here. So I'm glad I'm here.
Yes.
Because it shows you want to do better and choose to do better. You know,
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Is internal choice. We
all learn by repetition, but you also learn by creating certain welding points. And the more welding points, the stronger the structure is going to be to get to where you got to go. For me, this is kind of like a weld. I'm putting a couple welds.
Yeah.
I mean, steel, solid, something to understand that I can use as a pivot point.
Yep.
You know, my space is different today than it was before I got here.
Absolutely.
Vertical and horizontal. Spiritually, emotionally, I'm in a different space. I can feel it.
That's good.
This is the first opportunity I've ever had to speak to so many nice people. Strangers. You know what I mean? Like strangers, man, on the same oscillating wavelength. Who does that? True North Health Center.
Community.
Community. Yes. Community. And community will do that anywhere. That's a beautiful thing, man, when you think about it. Community. I tell you, man, that name y'all came up with, Hive Mind, oh, man, that's a mind blower. That really is, man. That's a great name, man. I'm like, man, how come I couldn't come up with something like that? Great name. You know, it's all about community.
It's all about
Who
community.
came up with that?
Anthony.
That's a great name, man. I just can't get over that name. That's a beautiful name, man. Hive Mind. Because it represents so much good. So much good, man. Bees are like a great representation of community, man. Ooh.
I like the honey analogy. It's such a good theory, and I think even us ourselves, we're trying to build our own community to create our own honey, and that's the all in all goal. Is that when we collaborate, honey's created, and there's enough to go around.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you showed me pictures of your beautiful family, man. Let me tell you something, man. The most powerful guys I know, all of them are family, man. Every last one of them. Mm-hmm. I got a friend, 44 years we've been friends. Shoot, man, he's a model. I mean, sometimes I say, man, I wish I was like him, man. I mean, some men know how to get it done right. And it ain't like you don't have complaints. But man, family, we learn, and relearn so much having family. Man, guys, man, I wrote a book.
Did you really?
Oh, yes, I did, man, called The Aborted Male.
Okay.
The Aborted Male. And basically the book is about the person, it's about the strategies that are used so that males don't become men. And it's a workbook. Yep, The Aborted Male. I haven't really promoted it much, whatever the case is, because I'm working on some other things in the space. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wrote a book.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. Yeah.
That's all it is. You keep your ambitions up, you make goals, and you create and manifest in front of you, and then destiny arrives.
I'm not a quitter, and you can't stop me.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Is there a final thought you'd like to share with the audience? Something inspirational. What I always ask is, what is a quote that is yours or somebody else's that you resonate with?
Woo! Which one? I resonate with Bruce Lee, but there's another one. By the soul and the order and proportion given to it, and its enlightenment to what is wrong and right. Truly he succeeds that purifies it, and he fails that corrupts it. The role of man, when we think about Adam, where do we find him?
In the garden.
In the garden. That's a sign.
He's working.
He's working. So someone said, the role of Adam or the role of man.
He's working.
Woman or man. The role of man is one of a cultivator. A cultivator. So when we think about our roles in life, in community, in family, in business, our natural inclination is to cultivate, like Adam in the garden. Gardens are not wild places.
No.
Gardens are places
Purpose.
purpose. People take time for cultivation. We're cultivators. You're a cultivator. You got family, you got business. I'm a cultivator to do what I do. We are all cultivators. If we spend time cultivating the good, then we'll have more healing space everywhere. Yummy, yummy!
Go like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh man, thank you so much, man, for giving me that opportunity, brother.